The Johnson family had always felt safe in their quiet suburban neighborhood. Their children played in the yard, their packages arrived on time, and their evenings were filled with peace. But that changed when a string of thefts hit their street. First, it was a neighbor's bicycle that went missing. Then another neighbor's car window was smashed. Finally, the Johnsons themselves lost 2 packages in a single week. Frustrated and worried, Mr. Johnson decided it was time to protect his family. He installed a small CCTV camera above the front door, angled to cover only the porch and driveway. To him, it was a simple precaution, nothing fancy, just a way to keep watch. The neighbors noticed, and some even said, "Good idea! At least someone is doing something about the thefts." For a while, the Johnsons felt safer, and so did the people around them. But peace didn't last long. A week later, a letter from the HOA appeared in their mailbox. It was written in bold and stern words. *CCTV cameras are not permitted within the community. Remove immediately or face fines of $250 per week. *. The signature at the bottom belonged, of course, to Karen, the HOA president. To Karen, the camera was not protection but a violation. She believed it invaded the privacy of neighbors walking by. The Johnsons were shocked. The camera was not facing anyone's yard or windows, just their own driveway. Mrs. Johnson said, "How can protecting my home be against the rules? We are not spying on anyone." Mr. Johnson decided to reach out to Karen directly, hoping for some understanding. But when he met her, clipboard in hand as always, her words were cold. *Rules exist for a reason. If we allow you to put up cameras, everyone will, and then we lose control of the community environment. The Johnsons refused to take the camera down. Instead, they explained their position to neighbors and many agreed. Parents with kids, elderly residents, and families who had also suffered thefts voiced support. A petition quickly gathered signatures, demanding the HOA allow cameras for safety. Still, Karen wasn't convinced. She insisted, privacy must be protected, even if it means sacrifices. The situation escalated when another theft occurred, this time at a house just 2 doors down from the Johnsons. The camera captured the thief on video, a man in a hoodie taking off with a package. The footage was shared with the police, and soon the suspect was caught. Neighbors cheered the Johnsons, saying, "If it weren't for your camera, he'd still be out there." Suddenly, what Karen had called a privacy violation had become a tool for community safety. Word spread beyond the neighborhood. Local news outlets picked up the story, running headlines like, *HOA tries to ban security cameras despite package theft wave. On social media, people debated fiercely. Some agreed with the HOA, saying cameras could indeed intrude on privacy. But the majority sided with the Johnsons, arguing that safety and protection were more important. The story went viral, and even local officials weighed in, pointing out that security cameras were perfectly legal as long as they didn't point into another person's private space. At the next HOA meeting, the tension in the room was electric. Karen stood firm, declaring, "If we bend this rule once, we open the door to chaos." But one neighbor stood up and said, "Karen, this isn't about chaos. This is about safety. Are you really saying you'd rather see more thefts than allow us to protect our homes?" Applause filled the room. Another resident added, "That camera caught the thief. It's proof these devices help us, not hurt us." When it was the Johnsons' turn to speak, Mr. Johnson rose and looked directly at the board. His voice was steady. "This camera doesn't invade anyone's privacy. It looks at my driveway, my porch, and my family. What it does do is protect us all. Rules should serve the people, not the other way around." His words resonated deeply. With overwhelming support from neighbors and growing pressure from the media, the HOA had no choice but to compromise. They rewrote the rule. Security cameras were allowed, as long as they faced only the owner's property and not directly into another resident's home or yard. The Johnsons kept their camera, and soon others installed theirs too. Package thefts decreased dramatically, and families felt safe again. Karen never openly admitted defeat, but everyone knew the community had won. The Johnsons had proven that safety must come before outdated rules. For them, the fight wasn't just about a camera, it was about protecting their family and standing up for common sense. That night, as the Johnsons sat together watching their children play safely in the yard, they realized something important. Their struggle had brought neighbors closer, united against unfair restrictions. They had turned one small camera into a powerful symbol of resilience. And in the end, the message was clear. Rules may guide us, but community, safety, and unity will always come first.